Gaffney had 9 prison guards working for him and was said to be kingpin and mastermind behind Lorton's largest known drug conspiracy. Guards and inmates all worked for Gaffney. He had sex with prison guards, inmates, and visitors. If guards needed extra money, they would go to Gaffney to get it. Gaffney ran a heroin empire from 1989 through 1994. Lorton's cell block 3 used to be called the House of Pain, where they'd deal with any issues. They made between $800 and $900 in a day sometimes, selling nickels and dimes, and was said to have kept drugs 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They sold high-quality smack because law enforcement was entangled in part of the enterprise. One of Gaffney's top soldiers testified for the prosecution in exchange for being not charged as a co-conspirator and said the powder was too strong when it would arrive. It would kill somebody if you took it like that. There would be daily cutting and bagging sessions called going to the table, where they bag 150 to 200 nickel bags in an hour in match head sized doses in Gaffney's cell. Nickel bags in piles of 54 each went into a green medicine bag the DC Department of Corrections uses to pass medicine to inmates. Gaffney gave those bags to runners who would sell the dope. 40 bags were to go back to Gaffney, and 14 bags were for the runner to do with whatever he pleased, as long as he brought back the 200 for Gaffney's 40 bags. Raw heroin was brought in every day. At least 5 officers became part of the smuggling operation. Gaffney had visitors almost every day and got his suppliers from the outside put on the other inmates' guest list. They'd take the powder back to Gaffney. He mostly used women to bring in the heroin. The women he used concealed the drugs in their vagina or their underwear. Drugs were also passed during religious type visits that were given lax security. The drugs came in tightly wrapped in balloons, 1 inch in diameter, tight and hard, with packed powder inside. Gaffney called them suitcases. Once in cell block 3, the drugs were poured into surgical gloves for storage. Once in the glove, the powder was tied tight, so in case of emergencies, certain soldiers could tuck the drugs inside their rectum and they wouldn't be damaged. A witness testifying for the prosecution said that the bills had to be stored and smuggled out for purchases. He also testified that he used the ace bandage to wrap $10,000 around a prison guard to take out. One witness testified that he's a blatant, flamboyant homosexual who'd store up to a half ounce of heroin and a sizable amount of cash that he'd fold in half and wrap in plastic from the trash liner in his rectum. He usually held $1,000 per day in his rear end, he testified. The witness testified that he had had 30 visits with Gaffney's sister, where she would pass him 2 balloons of uncut heroin. There are roughly 100 inmates housed in cell block 3, and all but a few of them are locked down 23 hours a day. The select few who are not locked down are called the detail, about 10 trustees who serve food and take care of the maintenance in the block and roam free for several hours each day. Gaffney was in charge of the detail, and his lieutenants and dealers made up the crew. If there was a problem inside the block, the guards would never have to do anything because the detail would handle it. The detail also controlled the food carts as a means of leverage, meaning if an inmate caused any problems, he'd get put on a Dick Gregory diet, meaning no food. A witness for the prosecution said that a guard got a 2-inch thick institutional file and left it with Gaffney in his cell alone for hours. It was said that using an institutional typewriter, he allegedly retyped parts of it, leaving off some of his conviction and changing his consecutive prison sentences into concurrent ones, shortening his term from 36 years to life into 24 years to life. Testimony indicated that someone had forged the signature of a judge at the bottom. Gaffney took the stand and denied having the documents at all. Experts who examined the judgment and commitment order said that it was a sloppy makeover and that it was good enough to fool the front office. 6 months after his alleged forgery, Gaffney was transferred to a minimum security facility. By allegedly doctoring the judgment and commitment order, he'd taken 12 years off of his sentence and was headed for an open gate. Keith Eugene Gaffney went to Lorton in September 1973 for assault with intent to rape while armed, assault with intent to kill while armed, 3 counts of armed robbery, 3 counts of rape while armed, kidnapping, and burglary, all stemming from the same incident. Another witness for the prosecution, named Walter Harris, recalled an incident at McNeil Island Federal Penitentiary, where they became close friends. The two stood back to back, armed with knives, on the prison yard after Gaffney raped a homosexual inmate. Together they stood in front of 300 Chicanos. That's how close they were.
It really hurt me when they killed Stan. Nobody knew who to shoot. We ain't even have a plan. He sold me my first gun. He held my first son. If I was with him shooting it out, bitch, we the one. I shed tears for my niggas who ain't here. They tattooed and spit that real shit to remember him. Bitch, I'm that dude. Catch a op and spit on his baby daughter. I'm that rule. Right at 3 o'clock as soon as he get out of school. You killed my dude. I don't give a fuck about you. I hope somebody killed you in case I never found.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Up for Debate TV. I appreciate you taking the time to rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the debate team too, man. My day ones, everybody that helped me get to this 5,000 mark, man. I really appreciate you. You feel me? Everybody that's tuning in, whether you subscribed or not, whether you leaving a thumbs up or a thumbs down, at least you tuned in. So I appreciate you tuning in and rocking with O. And you feel me? At least giving me a chance. You dig what I'm talking about? Now dig this here, man. This story right here, I'm a little disappointed in, you know. Boy was a kingpin, for real. And he was very sharp, for real. You know what I'm saying? In order to pull off the things that he pulled off, he had to be. But I'm still a little disappointed in this situation, man. But we ain't gonna talk about that right now. I had to break this video up into 2 parts. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want it to be too long. And there's a lot to discuss. You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot to discuss. Y'all heard the beginning. There's still a lot of stuff, moving pieces and variables to this story that deserve a little bit of discussion at least. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get to the details in part 2. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the legend, man. You know what I'm saying? That boy a legend. Lorton legend. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen nobody do it like that. You feel me? That's even better than the old boy, who was it? Noriega, Chapo, whoever built their own jail. He did one better than them. You feel me? You build your own and walk away from it. That's one thing. You build your own and go to it is one thing. But to go to them folks' place and ransack it, take it over, make it your home. You know what I'm saying? Home. I mean, it's your home because you sentenced there, but make it your home, man. It takes some doing, man. It takes some savvy, some balls, everything else in order to do that. But like I said, I'm still a little bit disappointed in this story as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Nah. That being said, man, like I said, YouTube analytics tell me y'all don't watch videos, my videos at least, past like 9 minutes. So I'm going to break it off into 2 parts. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to keep y'all long. I just got a question for y'all. I want to throw up a poll real quick. You know what I'm saying? If you will. You know what I'm talking about? Nah. Check this out, man. Patterson, he was one of the detail. He was part of the detail. You know what I'm saying? A self-proclaimed, blatant, flamboyant homosexual. He was part of the detail. Now, he was a self-proclaimed, like I just said. I don't want to repeat it again, but I'm going to have to. He was a self-proclaimed, flamboyant homosexual with fantastic hygiene, who stored more than a half an ounce of heroin and a sizable amount of cash in his rectum. He usually held about $1,000 per day in his rear end safety deposit box, as he called it. That's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very interesting. Not that I didn't know this happened in prison, that is. But the amount, he said he held what? Up to a half an ounce of heroin and a sizable amount of cash in his rectum. He usually held $1,000 per day in his rear end safety deposit box. Now, the question I got for y'all, man, and jump in the comments and let me know, all right? How did Gaffney know that his booty could hold all of that stuff? How did he know his butt was that big? Pause. Serious question. You know what I'm saying? How did he know? It's up for debate, right? So let's debate. A, word of mouth. Someone told him, hey, Patterson's butt is big enough to hold all the drugs and money. B, personal experience. Or C, he told him it was big enough to hold the drugs and the money. You let me know which one you think it is. Jump in the comment box right now and let me know. A, B, or C. A, word of mouth. B, personal experience. C, he told him it was. I don't know. It's all up for debate. Join me for episode 2 where we discuss the details, man. You know what I'm saying? Right after this, right after this, man. Ozone Odin, Up for Debate TV. And you already know who it is, my baby. When you see what you see.